What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and this is a pretty breaking video, a video that I wanted to get out to you guys as quickly as I could. I've actually already pre-recorded another Batman video that's going to be going up on Monday, and in that video, I'm not going to know what I'm saying now. I don't really think it's going to affect it all that much, but just so you guys know. So let's get into this breaking news. I know a lot of people come to me for this kind of breaking news with Batman. I honestly really appreciate it. It's actually quite surreal that a lot of you guys rely on me for the info, and I really do appreciate it. So Geoff Keighley today announced Summer Game Fest. Okay, it's going to be pretty much a collection of like 1,000 different things, right? He's having a lot of different connections with these publishers, with these corporations, with these companies, and there's going to be just tons, and I do mean tons of announcements in this next 4-month period from May till August, which I believe he says caps off at the online Gamescom, right? Because Gamescom, in person has officially been canceled, right? That was a little while ago. That was after E3, but a little bit more recent. And ever since that happened, they had said they're going to do an online show instead for Gamescom. So seems like Geoff Keighley, I believe Geoff Keighley even popped up when that happened and said like he's basically going to run it, right? He's going to be like the host of it. So that's what's going to end it. I believe that's like August 26th, August 28th, somewhere in the very late August. They're going to have that online Gamescom. He'll be kind of at the head of it. But throughout the next 4 months, there are going to be announcements. There are going to be reveals. There are going to be shows. There are going to be game. He even talked about how basically you're going to get like free demos and free things to play at home. Remember, that was a big focus of the last couple Game Awards, especially this Game Awards. It was a big focus of like, the whole kind of, oh, this game is real and it's out now, or this game, the demo, you could play the demo for free starting right now, right? E3 had kind of been doing that for a little while, right? And then Geoff Keighley jumped in, right? Even one example I remember only because they're my favorite band is like Green Day. Remember, Beat Saber had that Green Day pack, and that was available, I believe, that night at midnight, right, from the Game Awards. So it's massive. Honestly, I will see how it all plays out because, like I always say with Geoff Keighley, I love the guy. I honestly feel like he's a really nice. He seems like, I don't actually know him. He seems like an absolutely really nice guy. At the same time, he likes to pump what he's doing up, which, by the way, who wouldn't, right? And sometimes they don't always fulfill what we all think they're going to do. But this could be massive. And the first thing I thought when he said this was, all right, well, what games or who's even going to kind of have a contact with him? Who's going to kind of double down and say, I want to be part of Geoff Keighley's thing? Because I believe GameSpot is doing some sort of online thing in June. We know IGN, right, is doing like that summer gaming thing. They're going to be doing something in June. And like all these companies are kind of stepping up and saying, well, we'll do a replacement E3. And this other company says, well, we'll also do one. And I feel like they're going to all kind of be fighting each other, and we may not actually get big things from them. A lot of people have always asked me, ever since IGN announced that June thing, could Batman appear there? And I never really made a video because it's like, I don't know. Warner Bros. Seems like one to do it on the, like, we know they really want to do it on their own. They want to have a Warner Bros. Specific thing, and to appear on an IGN show doesn't make a lot of sense. So where does that lead us now? All right. Geoff Keighley also announced lineup, Phase 1, 2K, Activision, Bandai Namco, Bethesda, Blizzard, Bungie, CD Projekt Red, Extremes, EA, PlayStation, Private Division, Riot Games, Square Enix, Steam, Warner Bros. Which, when I first saw this, that was one of the last things I saw on here than Xbox. So, like, when I first saw this picture, which you guys are seeing now, right, literally the first thing I was looking for was, I wasn't reading left to right, top down, right? I was literally just looking for the Warner Bros. Symbol, and still I saw it almost dead last. Because it's so, look at it, it's so tiny, it's so skinny, it's just there. All right. Honestly, besides even Warner Bros. Being on here, this is amazing. So this is exactly what I was hoping, like literally in the like 10 minutes in between when I don't even actually know how many minutes in between when he first announced it to this picture of lineup of Phase 1. I don't know how long it was because I was late looking at it on Twitter and they kind of appeared almost back to back. But in the in-between time that I didn't see it, again, I was kind of going through like a midlife crisis being like, all right, well, again, how many companies are going to want to do something? Like, is he literally going to throw shows and these companies are going to participate? I don't think that's the case. From what I'm kind of sensing, he's kind of the host. He's kind of like the, I don't even know, like a grandmaster, right? And he's literally hosting these events, but they are being put on by these companies. That's how I see it. I really feel, and also, especially because it's May through August, this is exactly, again, what I've said time and time again, where I feel like these publishers are going to go whenever they feel like. You're not bound to go the week of E3. You're not bound to go in those 3-day periods where we have like 6, 7, 8 conferences, and then, you finish one, you can't even digest what you saw, and then all of a sudden you have to get ready for the next one, which I've always said is a really stupid thing, right? It's not a good way of doing it. There's a lot here. There are 16 different publishers just on phase 1, and what's even more exciting is this is only phase 1. Notice Nintendo isn't on here, right? And Nintendo, rumor had delayed their June, their E3, their Nintendo Direct that they were going to do, which was going to announce remasters for Mario for the Nintendo Switch, like Super Mario Galaxy, stuff like that. Remember, yesterday there was like unofficial confirmation that had been pushed to late summer. So notice the companies here. Some of them are missing. I mean, some companies that you may know of or some publishers you may think of, they are not all here. Not all of them are here. A lot of them are, but not all of them, okay? So this, again, to me signifies they're going to go when they feel like it, and they're all going to kind of be housed under Geoff Keighley. They're all going to be housed under Summer Game Fest. So you go on the website, you can sign up for the newsletter or when it goes. Actually, I think it's like a confirmation of when it goes live, but it'll update you, and I'm sure he'll post it on Twitter too. I don't know how long before, but what I would expect is this is now setting the stage. So for the longest, so let's connect it to Batman. I know I've talked about setting this stage for a long time, right? Basically, what's happened here is this. For the longest time, people were really, really worried that Warner Bros. Maybe wouldn't do something, right? They were going to go to E3. E3's canceled. What do? And people were kind of freaking out, saying, are they going to do an online show? Like, what's going on? Now everybody can rest assured. Pretty much, there's no reason now. Absolutely, and even before I was telling people, don't worry, stay calm. Please stay calm. But this really does, I think, completely set the stage and should completely stop people from being worried about this, because here you go. Here's 16 different companies that at some point will do something. We'll have an announcement. We'll have a show. We'll have something, and it'll all be under this Summer Game Fest umbrella. I think umbrella is probably a good term, right? You guys have heard that before. That's what's happened here. So does this mean that it's confirmed to be like tomorrow? No. It's a little annoying that he announces lineup phase 1, but none of these guys have, dates that they're doing it. Xbox, we know, has Inside Xbox next Thursday, but they're also having their own exclusive thing. We talked about that, right? This Inside Xbox next week is going to be talking about third-party games for the Series X. The next one in June is going to be their first-party games, really focusing on that Xbox Series X. They're going to throw like an online show. Now that, seemingly, because it's in this lineup phase 1, Xbox is there, tells me that they're going to throw their own show, but it's going to be branded. That's another good word. I've missed a lot of these words earlier. It's going to be branded as Summer Game Fest. So again, the phenomenal news is it's pretty much confirmed. I mean, it's lined up now perfectly for, there you go, Warner Bros. Will be in lineup. It'll be in the Phase 1 lineup of this Summer Game Fest from May till August. Now again, reading from this, a lot of people have speculated, well, we know even from like the official PlayStation magazine in the UK, there's going to be game announcements on June 2nd, and then rumor has that the PlayStation 5 will be shown and announced right before that. So maybe like late May. So you can what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to place it, right? I'm trying to figure out how long does Phase 1 last to? How long should we expect to wait for Warner Bros? So again, you have 16 companies. Please, God, don't let you all go in the same 4-day stretch. Again, you have 16 companies. You can do 16 different days. And to be honest with you, because it's all under this umbrella of Summer Game Fest, there's no excuse. If they all happen within like a 3-day period and they say, okay, this whole day is going to be like 5 of these different companies. They're going to have announcements. They're going to have reveals. The next day is another 5. That is the dumbest idea. That's literally E3, and I don't want that. So while that could happen, I really hope that doesn't happen. What, again, this also provides is freedom, because it literally May through August is 4 complete months that they are able to do whatever they want. They have 4 months to wiggle around and to space these announcements out from each other, which I pray to God that they will have the thought in their head. They'll be smart enough to actually do that, okay? But again, this is only Phase 1. I assume there'll be a couple. I'd probably say 3 phases in all. And I would guarantee you phase 3 is, in these pictures of these companies, I assure you, or I guarantee you, phase 3 will have Gamescom there, and it'll probably have Nintendo. I would assume Nintendo is like a phase 3 thing, which would be like August. But for these, again, Sony you can place probably late May, early June. Microsoft, their Xbox, is a little bit more difficult. Is he talking about inside Xbox, or is he talking about inside Xbox and their own show? Because that's in June. So I feel like phase 1 is probably May and June. You could argue there's only going to be 2 phases, May and June, and then July and August. Or they could do May and June, May and half of June, and then half of June and July, and then August is phase 3. It's either going to be 2 or 3 phases. I don't see how it can be any more than that. But I would predict, judging from all of this, that phase 1 probably ends in middle to late June, which is, again, what we've kind of all predicted, right? It's what we've assumed from Warner Bros. And what have I always said? Like, it's got to be probably before the end of June. It's got to be, like, before July. You don't announce a lot of games in July or in August. If the game releases in October, late October, early November, which it probably will, it's probably going to happen, then you'd have to assume that it needs to get announced. People are worried, you can't have a game announced too soon to when it comes out, which I've always said and I agree with, but it can be announced like 4 months before, which would be, if it's June to October, that's 4 months. So that's completely fine. If it's like August to October, yeah, that's a different issue, and I don't think they would ever do that. So again, really, you can tell by how fast I'm talking, right? I'm excited. This is that confirmation. Warner Bros. Will somehow be in this phase 1. Again, what does that mean? It means that I believe they're going to do their own show. I really do, because I don't think it'll be just an announcement and they'll call it and they'll literally label it as, there's their announcement for Summer Game Fest. They have Batman, they have Harry Potter, they have Rocksteady, they have Hitman, they have a Mortal Kombat Game of the Year edition. Those are 5 things that we've just heard rumors of, let alone possible Superman, possible Monolith game, or the makers of the Middle-earth games. They could have 7, 8, Lego Star Wars, all of these things, because don't forget, they're the publishers of that. Now, CD Projekt Red are the makers of Cyberpunk, but Warner Bros. Is its publisher. So I wonder how that works, too. So they could have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 games. Not really a situation where you just do a press release to announce them. It's more a situation where you literally do a live stream online showcase, right? That's the situation I think Warner Bros. Is in, just like Sony, just like Xbox, just like EA, just like Square Enix, really even like a lot of these, by the way, don't forget, aren't they the companies I told you would do online things? Bethesda has confirmed they weren't going to, so I feel like that could be an announcement. 2K is a very big publisher. We know how big Activision is. Bandai Namco does a lot of different games, right? I mean, you just literally go down the line. Square Enix has a lot of different projects. EA, one that has done E3, but has kind of done E3 a little bit differently. I mean, they could show some pretty cool stuff. So really, again, not just even Warner Bros. When I see this picture, I see just pure enjoyment, because I see a lot of fun to be had for all of us, that we're all going to watch all of these and just have an absolute blast. Again, 16 companies. Let's assume maybe 2 games each, which is, by the way, a very low ball offer considering we have Sony and Microsoft in there. I mean, this is a lot of new games we're going to get announced just in the next 2 months, and then that's not even counting July and August. So very, very exciting. Buckle up, guys, because we're finally here. We are finally here, and this is the final confirmation I think people need. So let me know in the comments below, guys. Are you excited for this? Are you prepared? We'll be talking about what we're going to do once we get some sort of official release date. I'd assume they give us some time to prepare. I don't think they'll say, okay, Warner Bros. Is going tomorrow. I think they'd probably tell us a week or 2 in advance that Warner Bros. Is going to have something on this day. I think we're very close to that, though. Honestly, if they do it in June, they'd probably announce it a few weeks before, so in May. So very, very exciting. Make sure you guys are subscribed, have that bell icon turned on so you know when to expect all these videos, and we'll be covering anything. We'll be covering anything breaking from, honestly, any of these publishers. It's very, very exciting. It's very exciting. It's a very exciting time to be around, okay? So thank you again so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next video.